Hey guys, how's it going? This is Yusei D-Wheeler here, and we are back with more Fate Grand Order Lostbelt 5 Olympus, and we have 4 sections left, and I think we're gonna go all the way and finish Olympus up right now, because the last one, though, we fought against Zeus, we took out Zeus, and then once we defeated Zeus, though, we defeated Zeus along with the help of Romulus Quirinus, the Grand Lancer we summoned. But then after that, we ended up losing Musashi after the Chaos Eye was peering at us from like the other side of like the dimensional rift, though, and then it was pretty much just going to wipe out all of Earth, though, pretty much. So then Musashi went in and sacrificed herself and slashed the eye. Well, slashed the void pretty much, though, and kind of sealed up like the rift that the chaos was staring through, and then we lost Musashi, which was very sad. So and then after that our alliance with Canis has finally ended. So we ended up fighting Canis, and then we fought Kirschtaria. And after we defeated, well, here's the thing. We got to hear about Kirshtaria's true plan, which is to create a whole new age of gods, which he wanted to turn all humans into gods, pretty much. So, but that didn't sit right with us, though. So we decided to fight him, and while we defeated Kirshtaria, though, in the middle of a fight, Beryl came in and went and shanked him. Yeah, and now Kirshtaria is dead, and yeah, Beryl's a piece of crap. So now we continue. Section 24. Advent. So what will happen here then? Yeah, Beryl pretty much backstabbed Kirshtaria. Come on! Once I've made mincemeat of you, once I made mincemeat of you on the ground, you were. Oh man, I'm already off to a bad start. Come on! Once I made mincemeat of you and the ground you're gonna land on, this'll all be over! Ow! How could I not defend against these pitiful techniques of yours? I see. It's not only Poseidon protecting you, that lightning, that gold. Impudent, short-sighted whelp! How dare you hide your true strength? Shut up and just freaking die! Oh yeah, I forgot Limbo was fighting against Canis while we fought against Kirshtaria. Damn it! Why'd you have to take so long? Now I'm gonna miss their whole Huh? What the hell's going on? Is that the foreign god getting in the way again? Why, no. No, it's most certainly not. I see. Well done, Beryl Gut. I always knew you were a traitorous wretch, but I never dreamed you could be such a snake. Good. Well then, I believe it's time I made my exit. Olympus is all but finished now, and so my fun and games must come to an end. Well, this unfortunately means the perfected foreign god's advent will have to wait.
My true self should be able to resolve matters soon enough, so should he so decide.
Damn.
So, in the meantime, I think I shall disappear, that I may focus on preparing a new picture of hell to unleash.
Just decapitate him.
God damn, sick bastard just cut his head off. Just cut his own head off. Screw that. Damn it, you better still be alive.
I'm afraid not. Oh, come on, Kirsch. Really? Shouldn't a superhuman god be able to heal up from a little cut like that? Oh well, at least it made my job easy. All that's left now is to find the body bag and a Kirsch-sized hole in the ground. Ah, that's more like it. Man, it feels so much better without that uptight blonde prick around. You guys think so too, right? Hey, Yusaku, feel better now that I got rid of that thorn in your side for you? Why did you do that, Beryl? I thought you guys were friends. Hmm? What? You already know who I am? Well, shucks, I think I'm gonna blush. Nice to have another dutiful kohai around. Can't say I care for the way you're glaring at me, though. Wait, you don't have a problem with me, do you? What, really? Come on, guys, you don't want to do this. You're obviously hanging by a thread. Hell, you still haven't even caught your breath from your fight with old Kirschtaria. So if you don't stop glaring at me like that when you're all weakened and vulnerable, I won't be able to resist killing you all too, no matter how much I love my kohai. Just kidding! Even I'm not that stupid. That servant of yours rocking the black trench and is the kind of guy to save his strength right up till the end, right? I can tell. So, since it's clear we'd end up taking each other out in a fight, how about we just have a nice friendly chat instead? Right, Mash? You know what I'm talking about, don't you? You know that Beryl gets a stand-up guy who's always willing to hash things out, right?
Yes, well, statistically speaking, your advice was... No, even if your advice was statistically helpful, I was never able to understand why you acted the way you did at Chaldea.
Is that so? Well, damn, girl. I must have earned your ire something fierce, huh? Oh, but don't get me wrong, Mash. I'm thrilled to see this new side of you. Just step up in front of Mash without saying anything. Oh, as I live and breathe, a real knight in shining armor in the flesh. Now that's a model master for you. I really appreciate you stepping out of your own accord like this, you know. Not only is your bravery real inspiring, you just made it much easier to go for your throat. Kirschtaria! Sorry, I can't yell too loud.
Hey, isn't that your pretentious-ass cloak on the floor? What's going on? The hell's going on here? Shit, you're bleeding like crazy. Hang in there, damn it. Don't you dare pass out. I still got a ton of stuff I gotta pay you back for. You can't die on me before I get the chance. Didn't you say you were gonna make every last one of those piece of shit gods obsolete? Come on, just because the Olympian gods are done for doesn't mean you can rest on your laurels. You still gotta do something about that big bad foreign god, remember? Don't you dare go cold on me now!
Oh, sorry. Sorry, just checking something out right now. Sorry about that. Just checking up on something. Well, damn. Oh, hey, Zero. Okay, goddammit, Beryl Gut. You sir are a pompous shithole. Or asshole. How's it going, Zero? Well, damn. That was the perfect chance, and now the mood's gone to shit. Hell, I'm almost tearing up myself. Come on, Canis. Take it easy. Kirshtaria's dead. No sense dwelling on the past, yeah? You know, it's not like you and I are total strangers. Hell, you're the one who brought me here from Britain. So how about you jump ship and become my servant? Woman like you'd be right at home in the British Lostbelt. Hell, stick with me and there might even be a domain or two in it for the fun.
A woman like me? It'd be one thing if the Chaldeans had killed him.
Oh. Oh, hey, Pandy, how's it going? Thanks for the raid, Pandy. How was your stream? Train station renovation. How was that?
Kirschtaria himself said he and Yusaku were on equal ground. But this wound clearly came from an ambush. That sort of thing ain't Yusaku's style.
How's it going, Buns? How was the train thing? Doing good, just wrapped up Olympus a few days ago. Nice. I'm about to wrap this up tonight.
You did this to him, didn't you, Beryl?
It was a fun game. It was fun. Game glitch, so I couldn't finish 100% on some maps. Oof. You gotta love glitches, don't you? So it's gonna be like that, huh? That's enough. The battle for control of this Tree of Emptiness is over, and Chaldea has won. Surely there's nothing to gain from further infighting there, is there, Beryl? Canis? Oh, it's him. Father Kotomine. Good day, everyone. I believe the last time we met was back on the Russian tundra, wasn't it? In my capacity as another of the foreign god's disciples, permit me to apologize on Limbo's behalf for his rudeness. His very nature makes him incapable of not toying with the minds of others, you see. It was, I assure you, nothing personal. He treats everyone this way. Oh, Pandy. By the way, Penny, if you're still here, I do have I think I'll let you know, you and Hana know soon when we can when we can have the next Minecraft stream and all that. Because I know I think next week though would probably be better since I have Friday and Saturday off. But we'll see. I think one of those days is your D&D day though. But so it's whichever one that you have free.
Who asked you, Rasputin? Besides, I don't recall ever signing up for your side. I'm Kirschtaria Wodime's servant, that's it. And now that he's shown his true colors, that makes me an enemy of the foreign god too.
I see. I'm sorry to hear that. And what of you, Beryl? You should be free, no, I'm not talking about this Saturday, because this Saturday I'm working. And then on Sunday this Sunday I have work in the morning. I'm talking about, yeah, but I'm talking about next week, though. Like, let's see, next, if only this little calendar would open up. Yeah, like I'm off on the 22nd and the 23rd of next week for Friday, Saturday. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I'll message you guys soon on the same chat thing. We now know that Kirschtaria, the leader of the Cryptors, was a traitor. But we also know you killed him. Cool. Can I assume this means you remain on our side? Hell yeah, you can. Like I always say, if you can't beat him, join him. I don't give two shits about the future of humanity. All I want is to have a good time. I didn't come back to life so I can become the king of Earth or anything. I'll go along with whatever you say. But then again, I can't help but wonder if this foreign god guy's really all that strong. Kirschtaria saw to it that they couldn't use Magellan here. And that woman back in Britain sucked Seyfried's insides dry. So without a vessel for the foreign god to come down to, well, what happens next? Because it seems to me like the strongest one on this planet right now has got to be the king from my Lostbelt. Can we really believe what he's saying? I see you've done your homework. Precisely the sort of thinking I expect from a purebred hunting dog like yourself. I take it that means the British Lostbelt is now officially opposing us then, Beryl. Since you appear to have sworn loyalty to their king, can I assume you're also speaking for Britain? Hell yeah, assume away. The old lady outright told me I could do whatever I liked on her behalf. Besides, that Rungo Miniad we just saw was a special spell. Her Majesty whipped up Besides, that Rungo Miniad we just saw was a special spell Her Majesty whipped up just for the foreign god. We were always planning on taking Olympus out, no matter what Kirschtaria got up to. Huh? Understood. The foreign god only saved Kirschtaria from death, thus giving the foreign god control over his continued existence. And as Kirschtaria was the one who saved your lives, the foreign god has placed no such restrictions on you. You are therefore free to live out the remainder of your days on this dying planet as you choose. As an enemy of the foreign god, that is. Koyanskaya, warp me over to Britain right now! I don't know why, but I'm getting some serious chills down my spine. I gotta get out of here before it's too late.
Well now, I was wondering when I'd get to make my entrance. How anticlimactic.
Climactic, yeah. I can talk, I swear.
But very well. Lord Beryl, if nothing else, you do have an impressive nose for danger.
Koyanskaya, you're going to take him away from here?
Why, yes I am. I offer a great many services. One of them includes taking a single cryptor on a single trip to the Lostbelt of their choice. Alright, until next time, Yusaku and Chaldea. We at NFF Services look forward to your future patronage. Assuming you make it out of here alive, that is.
So, Koyanskaya has gone over to that side as well. Well, I suppose it was time. She's the same class as our god, after all. If she had stayed, it would only have been a matter of time until they were at each other's throats. Alright, you're up, Muramasa. Go on and swing that katana of yours. This very moment is what the foreign god chose you for. Oh no, not him!
I can't believe it! Atlas's body is...
I suppose I should assume the internal fires have left the Tree of Emptiness in a permanent state of incompletion, but never mind that now. The real problem is that something is about to manifest inside Atlas's bisected spirit origin. Hmm. That is big.
Did Atlas just get taken over? I'm detecting a powerful magical reactor core signal inside the Tree of Emptiness. I can't measure its magical energy levels with my current equipment, but wait. The spirit origin pattern.
Foe! Foe! This has been very, very creepy, foe!
As for seen and categorized by Trismegistus, this looks to be the final horn, the final beast crown of the 7 evils of humanity. B7.
Okay. Language, intellect, sharing. Plane, mission, generating. Come in. Do you read me? Commencing. Advent. Huh. Okay, lots of laughter. Can't do it right now. Wait. Oh my god, it's Olga Mary. Give me a sec, folks. I'll save this one too. Lurk.
At long last, it's finally my turn. Thank you for waiting so patiently, my loyal disciples. And well done preparing a vessel for me to use from this empty planet. I am pleased with the work you've done, even if it did take longer than expected. So this is Earth, is it? I was curious what it was like after hearing it gave my kin so much trouble. But it doesn't look all that impressive. Just look how tiny it is! I could conquer the whole planet in less than a year!
Why is it Olga Mary? Wait, tiny? She's so tiny.
Why do I feel some faint brainwaves being directed at me? Are these some of the planet's indigenous life forms? They're so weak. I guess they must be. All that aside, why am I not sensing any respect directed at me? Wait, what is this pathetic body? My vessel's supposed to be made from a Tree of Emptiness, right? So why is this one so small? Master, I'm having a very difficult time following what's going on here, but I think the being floating above us right now is both a beast that manifested inside the Tree of Emptiness and the foreign god themselves, but what I don't understand is...
I know. I'd recognize that face anywhere.
matter. Disciple, status report. Given what happened with Kirschtaria, it seems like things did not go entirely as planned.
I'm afraid Seyfert's flames set Magellan ablaze before it become your body. While your spirit origin is unaffected, I suspect you may be unable to make full use of your authority as a result.
So it would seem that my body still has yet to fully unclose. Well, that's alright. It will give me something to look forward to. I'm sure I can find something here that will make up for my deficiencies. In fact, I see a meal before me now that should do the trick nicely. Usually, a single Lostbelt wouldn't be nearly enough to satisfy my cravings. But since I only just acquired this body, it should make for a well-balanced wake-up snack. However, seeing these insects buzzing around my appetizer is putting me right off my appetite. Are those the Chaldean stragglers? Why haven't you killed them? They certainly don't look like They certainly don't look like they're at all capable of giving my disciples any trouble. For that matter, why don't they fear me? I thought those of this planet were obliged to hold gods and
So, man, I am off my game again.
I thought those of this planet were obliged to hold gods in reverence. Yes, I know. It would be all too easy to grind them to dust beneath my heel, but I wish to sate my curiosity for now. Tell me, Yusaku, why do you not fear me? Aren't humans like you supposed to bow your heads, beg for enlightenment, and submit to the every whim of the great and powerful beings?
We take out gods like it's our day job, you know. Well, I mean... What the heck are you doing, Olga Mary?
Huh? What is this earthling talking about? What is a director? Looks like you've gone mad with terror. Well then, I'll be kind and explain. I am a god who has descended upon this world from the void. I have come to right this planet's wrongs and eradicate its evil once and for all. As the ultimate ruler, I will make Earth into a single nation and personally govern every last one of its people. Yes, I am the sovereign of Earth. Olga Mary!
Did you just claim to be Earth's president or something?
Now I really don't understand. First she declares she isn't Olga Mary, then she claims she is.
Just try to stay calm, Nash. It's you, Olga Mary.
That's more like it. It sounds like you finally understand my godhood. I can sense brainwaves of fear and confusion. Now, the time has come for me to wipe this planet clean of everything that once existed here. The human race, the Lostbelts, you lot, my disciples using silly heroic spirits for their vessels. Now that I have a physical body, I have no more need for any of you. Now get out of my sight, beg for mercy, and repent for your misdeeds, for even my infinite patience has finally reached its limit.
It's not really infinite now, is it? Gravitational field, sucking up everything that isn't nailed down. Damn it, it's even bigger than the Tree of Emptiness. If it keeps going on like this, there really won't be anything left. Indeed, including us. Is this what you really want, Rasputin? Because it seems this god of yours has no qualms about erasing even her own disciples. If this is what my god wants, then so be it. I only wish I could have been of more use to her.
If you use that black light on her, we could... Oh, but both the gun and its ammunition are... Yes, I'm sorry. We can't use the black barrel anymore. Besides, even if we could, I don't know if it'll be enough to defeat the foreign god.
At this rate, it's going to suck up not just all of Olympus, but this entire Lostbelt. So, I'm finally getting to see a beast in person. I don't need to use my noble phantasm to tell that humanity simply has no hope of defeating her. The sheer magnitude of her spirit origin alone vastly eclipses anything humanity could throw at her. There are simply no conditions that would allow for our victory. Mesopotamia, Solomon's Temple of Time. Chaldea was only able to prevail in those situations because we were an unknown factor. Indeed, our very existence was such an exception to the rule that we had an almost excessive advantage in the environments where Beast 1 and 2 appeared. Therefore, no matter how outmatched we may have been, it was always possible for us to alter our fate. But this beast is different. She's had Chaldea in her sights since well before we were even aware of her existence. We have therefore lost the one advantage we had in those other fights. Unfortunately, even if the Stormborder were to arrive now, that beast would simply wipe them all out. It's elementary, my dear Leonardo. There's simply nothing we can do. I wish I didn't have to say this, especially after you entrusted me to see this mission through, but... I'm sorry, Mr. Yusaku. I'm afraid there's no possible way for us to turn things around. Oh, come on. There's always a way to turn things around.
So you're not even going to try to fight back, Earthlings? Wait, how silly of me. Of course you can't fight back. I don't know why I ever thought you could. I suppose that it only makes sense. There is no version of humanity in this universe that is capable of surpassing me. All that aside, you Earthlings truly are pathetic, aren't you? You're so tiny, so powerless. It's like looking through a microscope at bacteria in the petri dish.
And we have a bot. /ban. There we go. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry, can't laugh too loud.
Huh?
Oh, what the fuck happened? Who slashed her? Muramasa? Hello? What? Who did that? Was that Muramasa? Alright, here goes. I'm sorry, Mr. Yusaku. I'm afraid there's no possible way for us to turn things around. Come now, it's not like you to be so rash. Or are your powers of deduction simply nullified when you attempt to apply them to an alien being? Oh, it's Kirschtaria. Sorry. Kirschtaria? Oh god, he's still up. Kirschtaria Wodyne, I didn't realize you were still alive. We may just have magical crest. We don't go down quite so easily. Holmes, you just said there was no possible way for you to turn things around. But that all depends on how you look at it. For example, my victory would be my plan to slay the god at succeeding, and my loss would be it failing. Now that Atlas's tree has been razed to the ground, and the foreign god has descended upon this world, my plan has ended in abject failure. It represents a complete and total loss for me. There is no hope of me turning things around. But the same is not true for you. For you, loss would be dying, and victory would be living. So even if the foreign god has descended upon this world, and even if all you can do right now is run away, merely surviving is enough to ensure your victory. And since you haven't truly lost, you still have a chance to turn things around. I understand this is all a bit much coming from me, since I'm the one who invited the foreign god here in the first place, but oh well. Now then, I think it's time I played my last card. Rest assured, I won't let the foreign god get away with this. Even if it is ultimately fated to vanish once its Tree of Emptiness is gone, I will protect Olympus right to the end. After all, I promised Zeus I would. I'll make sure the foreign god goes away, though I can only do so temporarily. Now go. Get out of here. I'm afraid you'd only get in my way. Are you sure? I mean, you're obviously badly hurt. Don't worry. It's not as bad as it looks. I've still got plenty of fight left in me. He says that with a big, gaping, bloody spot on his chest. It's a shame you and I weren't able to finish our duel, though. We'll just have to take a rain check on that. At any rate, you've got much more work ahead of you than I do. I'm sorry about this, Yusaku. I wish I didn't have to ask you to take on such an enormous responsibility again. It's okay. I haven't come this far just to lose now. Mr. Holmes. Very well. You have my word I will do everything in my power to give Chaldea a chance to turn things around. Good. I'm relieved to hear that. Alright then. This is goodbye. But before you go, Mash, let me give you one word of advice. I won't deny that as a crypter I considered you and Yusaku my most dangerous enemies, and tried to eliminate you accordingly. I did so because at the time I firmly believed that was I believed that to be what was right. But of course, humans are fundamentally incapable of making the right choice. So, the least we can do is keep shamelessly moving towards those things we have chosen, right or wrong. I believe that's what it means to be human. We are nothing if not great at rationalizing our actions. Still, trust me when I tell you that there's no need to fight to assuage a guilty conscience, or to atone for past misdeeds. Don't forget, the reason you left Chaldea to go on a journey was to get as much out of it as possible. I'm afraid the palace won't last much longer. We need to evacuate the Great Shrine. Come now, quickly!
Right! Kirschtaria! Thank you for everything you did for me at Chaldea. I wish we could have all talked a lot more.
Man, just when we start to like the guy. Are they gone, Canis?
What are you, stupid? Can't you see for your... Yeah, they're gone. They left your sorry ass behind. Didn't even look back. So you don't gotta worry about them. Mess this bitch up. Hell, I'll even let you lean on me.
Thank you. That will be a big help. What about you, Father? Aren't you going to stop me? Not at all. Not unless the foreign god gives the order to eliminate you two. I'm only here to serve as a witness. Truth be told, it should be quite educational. No matter how powerful one may be, this planet still follows its own rules. This will be an excellent way for the foreign god to learn that lesson. In that case, don't mind if I do. Stars, cosmos, gods, animus. Antrum, unbirth. Anima, animusphere. There are yet the lights of the stars in the void. Illuminate the earth, stay aloft the sky, and illustrate the coordinates of the heavens. May you be a guide for voyagers one more time, O Light of Chaldea. Okay, so that was Kirschtaria. Damn. That is our senpai. Got 25. We'll go right. Just go right in. Just go right in. What I'm about to tell you took place in the spring when I was 15 years old. Back then, I thought the future was bright and full of hope. I was born into an environment far better than most could hope for, with talents far greater than most could dream of. I knew I was destined for great things, and that my purpose was to see them done. I'm going to create something beautiful. I'm going to create something wonderful. It was that ideal, that passion that made me apply myself to my studies day in and day out. And as a result, I ended up in this filthy dump. I found myself in a place that would never give rise to ideals or principles of any sort. Ugh. The pain in my chest made me gasp. I couldn't move my limbs at all, but fortunately I was still able to treat the wound on my chest. Since I had been chosen to take over the family in lieu of my father, I possessed a magical crest that had been reinforced over 11 generations. It was designed to heal its bearer in the event they suffered an injury, even if they could not do so themselves. But now the crest was no longer functioning. Its mana was stagnant, like anecdotes from the curses department. I knew I must have been poisoned with an anti-mage toxin, one designed to attack its target's nerves and blood. Enough time has passed for the toxin to work through my body. Both my crest and circus were completely dead. I can no longer counteract the toxin myself. I would require assistance. The situation couldn't have been worse. I was trapped in enemy territory, and what strength I had was fading fast. The only hope I had of surviving was if my grandfather noticed something amiss and sent someone to rescue me. The problem was, I had no way of knowing if I would last that long.
Awake, awake, awake!
Especially with more of my father's assassins looking for me. I felt as though the basement's room already pungent. It felt as though the basement's room's already pungent stench had suddenly got even worse. The boy was wearing a coat that someone else had clearly thrown away, and his hair hadn't been washed in years. He must have carried me here to where he lived when he found me crawling through that alley after the attempt on my life. I can only guess he thought he could make money off me based on my clothes and appearance.
Still alive? Alive?
Hearing the boy digging through a can full of garbage, I was unable to hide my disgust. I was deeply ashamed by the fact that such a pitiful creature had saved my life.
Treasure! Treasure! Here, eat.
Ew. The boy pressed a piece of completely stale, moldy bread up to my mouth and forced me to eat it, wiping the crumbs off my face with his filthy sleeves. Whatever his intent, his efforts were far from helpful. My wound had closed, but my digestive system was only barely working. Rather than helping me recover my strength, eating barely edible food like this would only upset my stomach and make my condition worse.
It's good. Eat. Eat.
But I lacked both the strength to resist and the energy to refuse, so I reluctantly opened my mouth and choked down the rock-hard bread. Once I managed to finish the food he forced upon me, the boy stepped away from my bed with a satisfied smile. He then moved to a corner of the room where he sat down cross-legged and continued his unsettling laugh. Though I was racked with both chest pain and shame about the predicament I found myself in, I realized there was nothing I could do, so I simply lay back and closed my eyes. This would all be over in a few hours anyway. My assailant was almost surely a mage, and so it would be trivial for them to track me down. It was only a matter of time until they discovered this place and came to finish me off while I was still incapacitated. Any help that might be on its way would never get here in time. Not even a god could rescue me from this situation. But my assailant never showed, even after several days had passed. I think I must have spent about 10 days on that hard wooden bed without ever getting up. My body was still paralyzed, but by that point, I must have gotten accustomed to my environment. Slowly but surely, I took stock of my current situation.
Here, eat this too.
No thanks. Could I have some water instead? The fact that this shed was located under a bridge was the one silver lining. Thanks to that, we had access to potable water, even if it wasn't entirely clean. That's better. Say, how long have you been living here?
Never mind. Eat, eat.
My best guess is the boy had been living here since he lost his guardian several years ago. This shed, his home, must have belonged to his guardian. Even now, I do not know if his parents abandoned him, or whether he was an orphan from birth. He had very little in the way of language skills. This was hardly surprising, given that he could not have had a single real conversation with an adult in all his life. What's your name? Surely you must know that much. I was shocked. I couldn't believe there was a child in this day and age, in a modern city no less, who didn't even know what names were. No, more than that. I wonder how he had managed to stay alive on his own all this time.
Scary, scary. Everyone, scary. Hide, hide. Safe here. Always safe.
As the boy told me this, he stroked the pendant he wore around his neck. We'll all be. Even though I couldn't use magecraft at the time, I could still tell that the boy was holding a mystic code of concealment. What's more, it was an antique of incredible value. A talisman that belonged to a sect of witches who have been living in England's deepest forest since even before the clock tower was founded. Now I see. That explains it. No wonder my assailants hadn't been able to find me. The room I had been staying in was rendered almost completely invisible. You're right. That really is a treasure. I couldn't bring myself to ask the boy if his parents had left him the talisman or if he had discovered it for himself somewhere. but at least I now understood his situation. It was the pendant that had enabled him to carry me here from the alley without being... It was the pendant that had been... Oh, God. Sorry about that, guys. It was the pendant that had enabled him to carry me here from the alley without being seen. It must also have been what enabled him to safely borrow food from nearby stores. I couldn't make up my mind whether his situation was encouraging or depressing. It was thanks to that pendant that the boy had been able to survive on his own all this time. But it was also thanks to that pendant that he'd never needed to become involved with anyone else. In a very real sense, he had slipped through the cracks of society. So you're, unsure of what to say to him, I end up saying nothing.
It's okay. It's okay. It's pretty. Treasure. My treasure.
The boy gave me a big smile while gently tucking the pendant away, never grasping my true intentions. Even thinking back on it now, it still makes my chest ache. Give me a sec, folks. Several more days passed, and I made a number of new discoveries.
Always saw you on the bridge. Always I saw.
That finally jogged my memory. This boy was the vagrant I'd seen when crossing the bridge.
Always saw you. Always.
I'll never understand what I must have seemed like to him. No, I'll go further. I should never presume to think I can understand. All I can say is that, as far as I'm concerned, I was someone he'd seen crossing the bridge, and that was enough for him to help me. The boy may have been ignorant, but he wasn't stupid. In his own way, he understood the current situation too. Okay. For starters, he never once left the room. Some part of him understood that if he went outside, even with a pendant, there's a chance the people who attacked me would discover us. So for almost 2 weeks, he fed me using the food he already had on hand.
Food.
What's wrong? Is there a problem? Probably doesn't have a lot of food left.
No. No problem. Safe here. Safe.
I see. Well, that's all right then. Even having grown accustomed to his environment, I was beyond exhausted. I still couldn't move my limbs, and my strength was no closer to returning. It was no surprise. The food the boy was giving me had no nutritional value whatsoever. And while his pendant may have kept us safe from my assailants, it also kept us hidden from my allies. I sighed loudly in despair and closed my eyes. Ooh, and I stretched. As I slept, I dreamed of my body rotting away like a decaying tree until I finally died. Wake up! It was the first time the boy had ever woken me up of his own accord.
Food! Eat up! Have lots!
Is that? My voice all but broke into shameless excitement. In his hands, the boy was carrying a basket filled to the brim with bread. And not stale, moldy, leftover bread like he'd been giving me so far. This bread that had been clearly been freshly... This was bread that had been sorry about that. This was bread that had clearly been freshly baked that morning. This is amazing. Although, it's all just bread, huh? Don't misunderstand, I do appreciate this. But if you were going out anyway, it would have been nice if you had gotten some other things too.
Here, food. Eat, eat.
I didn't realize until later why the boy had only had... Whoa. I'm off my game right now. I'm like... Kind of like... What? I didn't realize until later why the boy had only had stale bread on hand. It was because for the entirety of his life, he had never known any other sort of meal. I didn't understand that back then, since mine had been a life of luxury. Unfortunately, there was something else I failed to notice too. Something much, much more important. Very well, don't mind if I do. Yes, this is much easier to eat. It's great. The boy suddenly fell into the bed as if he'd tripped on a rock, his arms clinging to... The boy suddenly fell into the bed as if he'd tripped on a rock, his arms clinging to the top near my pillow. He looked just like a child dozing off at their desk. Are you... The boy had always looked so malnourished that I hadn't even noticed how sunken his cheeks now were, or the fresh bruises on his body. He'd been living alone all this time. Of course, he wouldn't have had enough food on hand to feed 2 people for over 2 weeks. The only reason he had any at all was because nobody had stopped him from taking it, thanks to the pendant. The food he had on hand was only enough for one person, only enough for him to survive on his own. And ever since he'd taken me in, he'd not so much as set foot outside. He knew that if he left with the pendant, this room would no longer be safe. So he left it by my bed to keep me safe. In an instant, it was clear as day what he had done to bring me more food. He must have been accosted and beaten over and over. And since he had barely eaten a thing ever since he took me in, the malnourished child simply could not endure such punishment.
Treasure. Safe. Safe.
No, he couldn't have. No one would ever do something so absurd, so patently foolish. He may have been ignorant, but he was smart. He would never willingly choose to do this. Still, on the bed, the boy looked at my face as I lay there, as though he was gazing up at the stars.
Pretty. Pretty. Pretty.
No. Hang in there. Please, you have to.
So pretty.
I think he probably died. Just to get him some food? Man. At the time, I wasn't overcome with grief or shock or anger. I was just done with my own stupidity. I was completely and utterly fed up with how foolish I had been to only look at the future, without seeing or relating to those I had previously treated though they didn't exist. Huh. Create something beautiful? Born to be a king? A chosen genius? What a joke. No, jokes are at least funny. I had no idea what I had been talking about. I bragged endlessly about creating beautiful things, blindly trusting that simply calling them beautiful was enough. I had never once stopped to think about what it was that I considered beautiful. The boy's value hadn't changed. He had wasted his life on something so foolish, so stupid as saving me. I was from the upper crust, and he was from the bottom of the barrel. That much was clear. That much was clear from what we were each bound to contribute to the world in the years to come. But still, could I do what he did? Could I risk my life solely to keep a perfect stranger from starving? Could I risk my life without receiving anything in return, all for something I felt was beautiful? Why, of course. I can do that. I roused my body from its long slumber, very literally burning my soul for energy. I could feel my magical circuits, a gift I had all my life up to that point, physically crumble away. Then, after paying that steep price, too little too late by then, I ate every roll the boy had brought me. That's right. If he could do it, then I had to as well. Now that he had shown me what was possible, it was incumbent upon me to pay him back. For what he lacked in property, he more than made up for in benevolence. I need to set my sights higher. I need to be stronger than ever. I shamelessly shoved the food into my mouth, silently willing my cells back to life. I had no time for regret of self-pity. No, I had a job to do, and I was determined to see it done. This was an entirely new motivation. I certainly wasn't born with these convictions. If my life had continued as planned, this new ideal would never have even occurred to me. But now, I vowed to dedicate my life to it. To take all the many gifts I was given, gifts that boy couldn't even dream of, and use them to demonstrate the value of human life for as long as my own lasts. After taking the full force of Kirschtaria Wodaim's serious light, the foreign god disappeared from this sector of space. Whether she was forced to retreat due to injury or simply did so reflexively in response to the unexpected strike is still unclear. Regardless, her exit meant that Olympus would be spared immediate destruction, and left only the master and his servant behind in the palace. So much for that. In retrospect, I may have set my sights a bit too high.
What the hell are you smiling about, you idiot? You look like a kid who just got caught with his hand in the candy jar.
The servant knelt down beside their master despite the insults that continued coming. Painfully aware of how he would never walk again, now that the bottom half of his body had been obliterated. Oh, Jesus Christ. The master rested what remained of himself on the floor as it crumbled beneath him, and turned to look up at the sky.
Damn, that serious light was some serious shit. Ophelius didn't do anything even close to that.
Well, this is how they were originally supposed to be used. Director Marsberry told me in that confidence. He said that if things ever looked truly bleak, I should use mine to save the world. No pressure, right? The master coughed dryly and brittlely as he spoke. His cough sounded like the rattling of dead tree branches. There was no more sign of the melodic spring-like lilt that had previously been a fixture of his voice.
You don't say. And here I thought all of Chaldea's directors were weak and pathetic. Sounds like this Marsbury punk was one hell of a guy. Never would have guessed.
Yes, he was. I always did respect him, but he turned out to be far more capable than me. He may have been an avid scientist who only cared about his research, but he was also just as dangerous as you would expect one of the clock tower's 12 lords to be. The master laughed, acknowledging his defeat. There was no trace of regret in his voice. I must admit, I never would have guessed that you would cooperate so willingly with Chaldea. I was so shocked. I spilled my tea when I heard you join their side just like that. I thought that would have taken considerably longer. Part of me was even a bit jealous. For a moment, I wondered if it meant you'd join anyone who defeated you. Yeah. Let me do that again. Part of me was even a bit jealous. For a moment, I wondered if it meant you'd join anyone who defeated you.
Hey, it wasn't just like that, and he never defeated me. That was all because Poseidon messed up.
Then, what convinced you?
I guess it was Chaldea's leader asking me about you. Said he wanted to know what Kirschtaria Wodan was like now. Not as a mage, but as a person. I think that was the big reason I helped him out this long.
Well, that doesn't sound very worth your while. You've been helping him all this time without anything in return.
Who said I didn't get anything out of it? In exchange, I had to tell him... In exchange, I had him tell me a shit ton of stories about you from your clock tower days. Some born champion you turned out to be. Turns out you were nothing but an overly cautious, stubborn as hell coward. Guess both the Dioscuri and Ophelia were completely wrong about you all along.
The servant laughed joyously. It wasn't laughter meant to mock the ones who had misunderstood the master. It was meant to commend him for keeping up such a perfect front for so long. The master looked up at his servant when he heard the laughter, squinting as if they were too bright to look upon. His eyesight had clouded over, and his breathing was already sharp and shallow.
Hey, what about you? You got anything you still want to say or something you still want to do? Go on, let me hear it. I'll at least do that much for you.
Something that I still want to do, huh? And so, one small piece at a time, the master told his servant about his what-ifs. He explained how each cryptor was required to have an accomplishment worthy of overturning their death in order to bring them back to life. So the foreign god created environments, customized subjective worlds. Worlds that would let the dead cryptors achieve such a thing. The master was then shifted to these worlds that might have been, yet were never meant to be. And from there, he and his fellow cryptor undertook a journey to restore humanity.
Damn, seriously? So what, you saved the world with them?
Only as a part of a simulation. They were nothing compared to the real singularities. Karak and I came to trust each other. Ophelia and I shared a laugh with each other. Akuta and I helped each other. Beryl and I disagreed with each other. Pepe must have saved me a dozen times. Aro may seem frivolous, but he has a strong sense of integrity. I really enjoyed getting to understand them better, getting to know their lives. But all the time the master spent with his teammates was no more than a dream, an illusion that was broken the moment his accomplishment was complete. Now, the only one thing in this whole world who remembered their trying but important journeys was the master himself.
And you still treated him like that? What, is your heart made of stone or something?
What else could I do? If I'd told them, they wouldn't know what to make of it. So I just kept it all to myself, like any other dream. More precisely, he locked the experiences away so he would never look at them again, to make sure that regardless of what happened, they would never fade away. A journey to restore humanity, huh? That may not be the best way to put it. But if we're all possible, I really wanted
To save the world with everyone in Team A. Together. The Master truly loved his teammates, not as their leader, but as their friend. They're the same. The servant thought bitterly. This master and Chaldea's master were in the exact same position. As his breathing slows, one last thought flits across the master's mind like a shooting star in the night sky.
The hell were you thinking, you idiot? You didn't have to try so hard all by yourself.
I'm glad to hear you say that, Canis. But you're wrong. I was never all by myself. All humans are trying to do their best.
Like hell they are. Don't you try and pull that shit with me, Kirschtaria.
There is no answer. His soul is already gone. The servant turns towards the sky as though watching a bird fly away, never to return. Mistakes flood the servant's mind. Unquenchable hatred pounds the servant's heart. The servant wasn't about to reject the past or previous actions. The pride this heroic spirit held refused to sully the very nature of a hero. After all, the servant had been the one who had laughed at the world of humans, the one who mocked and wreaked havoc upon it. That aspect would never change. The servant was well aware they were a villain who hated humans, despised gods, shunned what was right, and embraced what was wrong. But even so, in spite of all that...
Damn it. I'm the idiot.
Even if everything about her and him was evil, she and he remembered what she and he was meant to protect, even as he regretted failing to do so. She and he took up her spear of lightning, and the golden bird took flight. His next actions would not be for her in his own glory, but to show that he was indeed the right heroic spirit for her and his master. Well, damn. That was one hell of a section. Detached palace. Okay, before we continue, I'm going to go get myself a drink, so be right back.
I'm back. Sorry about that. Oh, hello, Nasodian Lord. Welcome. A lot of no battles right now. That looked just like Ophelia's. There you are! It's about time we finally got a decent connection! Right then, this is Gordolf Music, commander and pilot of the Stormborder. Do you read me, Yusaku? You do read me, yes? I'm just going to assume you can and tell you all what I have to say. We just finished making emergency repairs to the border and are on our way to rendezvous with you at top speed. We're all caught up in your situation thanks to our video feed. Hi. I was looking at this snack earlier. We know that the Tree of Emptiness will be burnt down from the inside, that a mysterious light came down from the sky, and that the foreign god appeared from inside Atlas and claimed to be Olga Mary Animosphere. I'm still trying to make sense of it all, but never mind that for now. Which building are you all in right now? The Great Shrine? The Cronus Crown? The Cronus Crown is starting to fall apart quickly, so if you're there, hurry over to the Great Shrine immediately. We should be able to fly in and extract you from there. What's that? I'm asking the impossible? Never mind that, just get it done! Not to worry, Director Gordolf. We've already managed to escape the Great Shrine. Once we made our way through the Machina Corridor and reached the Hanging Gardens, we intend to try and make our way down to the city.
You can't! The Great Shrine's crumbling from the bottom up. You'll never be able to make it down to the city. Quick, does anyone know what the most stable point in the shrine is? If it's stability you seek, I suggest you make your way to the altar. It's in the very middle of the shrine, and it was a holy zone used to receive Lord Zeus's revelations right to the very end. It will not be quick to fall apart.
It should take us about 20 minutes to make it to the Olympian airspace, so try and evacuate to the altar by then. Understood. Then we better be on our way before the Machina Corridor starts to collapse as well. Foe! Foe! Onwards and upwards, foe! I see the furry little breakfast thief is safe too. At any rate, hang in there until we come to rescue on the border. Administrative Advisor, MASH, Yusaku. Macarius, Adele, Queen Europa. You had all better hang in there until the captain arrives, which he will, guaranteed. Hey. I got something in my teeth. Sorry about that, folks. The sounds of destruction echo throughout Holy Vessel Ring Cronus Crown. Great Orbital Shrine Olympia Dodana. The cacophony of destruction reverberates through every district in Olympus. Both the crown and the shrine, once thought immutable and eternal, were falling apart before everyone's eyes. Even the great crystal mountains had begun to fracture. Rubble rained down upon the city, people huddled on the ground, not even daring to look up at the sky. The heavens had begun to collapse. Olympus itself groaned horribly, straining at the seams. The death cries of an entire city echo across its districts. People huddled together in branched shrines, believing the destruction would stop once the gods heard their prayers. But to no avail. That's 'cause we killed the gods. The rubble continued to fall, crushing some of the branch shrines in the districts surrounding them. Most people prayed fervently for this disaster to come to a swift end. They prayed and hoped and believed that the gods would protect them. They believed that their friends and family who had suffered painful deaths would soon come back to life. Nope. Wait a sec. But in time, some people waiting for their loved ones to return began to realize the truth. No one would be revived. No one was protecting them. The Cronus Crown's collapse would continue unabated. There would be no revelations from the great orbital shrine. And the gods would remain silent. For now, at long last, there were none left on Olympus. As time passed and more people realized that the events they were experiencing portended their Lostbelt's destruction, they fell silent one after another, despair and resignation shutting their mouths tight. It was the first pall of silence, devoid of even a single prayer, that had fallen over Olympus in 10,000 years. Not much further to the altar now.
The floor is fracturing. Everything's falling down to the city below. We can't use this route anymore either. Come on, let's head back to the intersection and... Look out!
Whoa, foe, please! I do not want to become a foe sandwich, foe. Don't just watch your step. Keep an eye on what's above you, too. You guys are flesh and blood humans, so even a little falling debris could end up killing you.
Right, I'll be fine, but Senpai is... That goes for you too, Mash. With the Orthodox output so low right now, you're not much more durable than an ordinary human, so please be careful. Right, I will.
The situation seems dire. While we do have some floating mystic codes prepared, we simply no longer have enough magical energy to make use of them. We can never make them last long enough for the storm border to reach us, and there's no guarantee that we wouldn't end up hurtling to our... And there's no guarantee that we wouldn't end up hurtling to our deaths.
I'm afraid I don't have much magical energy remaining either, but there may be something... But there may still be something I can do. Adele, Macarios, I'm gonna use the last of my magical energy to provide the children of Chaldea with a defensive bounded field and a floating spell. Well, I would be grateful if you two would help me. Whether you do so or not is entirely up to you.
Foe!
Europa? Of course you will, Lady Europa.
What Adele said.
Wait, a bounded field and a floating spell would be a huge help, but why stop at just us? Can't we all... Operation God Destroyer is complete now. Even the Tree of Emptiness has finally gone from this Lostbelt. This is our new future, the one we've been dreaming of for a long time.
Right. Today is finally different from yesterday. I'm sure our cells are growing again for the first time in forever. We can finally pick up from where we left off 10,000 years ago. That's all we need. Besides, we're not as weak as you guys, so we can get down from the shrine on our own.
When Macarios said, even if this Lostbelt does soon return to its original form, our time is only just beginning. Take care, everyone. Take care, Mash and Yusaku. And thank you for everything. This time we spent together may have gone in the blink of an eye. But I enjoyed every second of it.
We enjoyed it too. That's exactly why. Come on, don't look at us like that. We all accomplished what we set out to do, right? I'll admit, there were a number of times when I thought it might be hopeless. I mean, I could tell from the first time I saw you guys that you weren't bad people. But I thought we might be screwed when it came to the operation.
But you really came through. You gave us the tomorrow we were hoping for. I can feel it right now, at this very moment. We're in a different day now than we were yesterday. We're finally growing again. This Lostbelt may end up disappearing, but even so, I still feel as though anything could happen today. This is what I wanted, what I've longed for since hoped to feel.
So, thanks. I know most Olympians would probably consider you guys and us to be the most evil people ever, but...
Yes, most Olympians may very well think that.
But we don't, not one bit. And isn't that enough? We'll never forget you guys, even if this world was never meant to exist. So as long as you guys remember us proudly, that's plenty meaningful right there. We'd much rather you remember us like that than to keep on living aimlessly forever.
Yes, you're right. Thank you both so much for helping us get this far.
Foe! Foe! Give me one last ear scratch, foe! Oh, nope, wrong window. Thanks, Macarios, Adele.
I'd like to thank you all as well. Thank you for watching over Lord Zeus's loving heart and over Olympus's pride. May you all live on, children of Chaldea.
I'll be seeing you soon in that ticket.
Oh, beloved Zeus in heaven, send your winds from the far reaches of humanity to aid these travelers. And may your protection keep them safe from all manner of disaster that may befall them. It worked! We now have a defensive bounded field and a flight spell.
Bye, Mash. Bye, Holmes. Bye, Foe. Bye, Yusaku. You proper human history humans might be weak, but you were still a great master anyway. You proved that beyond a doubt when you faced off with that other Master Zeus. No. Wait. You proved that beyond a doubt when you faced off with that other master Zeus himself called a friend, and won. You twins were both amazing too.
Oh, come on. You're lumping us both together like that? You could at least try to compliment us more individually.
Fly away, Chaldea. Fly away. And make sure you land somewhere far from here.
Give our best to everyone on the border and to all the other people in the world once you save them.
Man, you're amazing, Queen Europa. They're already so high up I can't even see them anymore. Do you think they'll be okay? I hope they don't get hit by any debris or anything.
Not to worry. The gods will surely protect them. Yes, I have no doubt that all the gods who fell here, and the gods from proper human history will keep them safe. Indeed, that would be lovely. Hey, Macarios?
What is it, sister?
Remember how you said we can get down from the shrine on our own? You weren't very convincing.
Oh man, I can't believe even you could tell I was lying.
I'm so sorry, you two.
There's nothing to apologize for, Your Majesty. We wanted them to take to the sky, and they did. That's all we need. Proper human history, huh? They never did tell us much about it. I wonder what it's like.
It must be a wonderful world if it managed to produce people like them.
Yeah, definitely. Then we really did do the right thing. This has got to be what's best for Olympus.
Macarios,
I'm not regretting this. I've been dreaming of this day since forever. This is exactly what we wanted. Now, everything's gonna go.
Don't do this, Macarios.
I'm sorry, sister, but I've gotta say this. You know what?
What?
Don't get me wrong. I really do think this was for the best. And I'm not just saying that, I really mean it. It's why I've been able to keep fighting for so long. But, all that said, I know we've killed all the gods and betrayed all the other Olympians, but if there was a chance, even a tiny 1 in a billion possibility of having just one wish granted.
Macarios.
I don't even know who could possibly grant it now that all the gods are gone, but there's a tiny, tiny part of me that feels like if somehow I could have one wish granted, then just once, I wish I could have seen beyond tomorrow. And especially, I wish I could have seen what you were like when you were all grown up.
Oh, silly. You didn't have to tell me that. I've always felt the same way.
And crushed. Alright. Oh, we're fighting a Lancer. Alright. Let's get this show on the road then.
I can see everyone's spirit origins. It looks like they're floating, but I'll go ahead and guide them to the deck.
Munier, switch the border over to thruster mode. Maintain airborne altitude until Yusaku's team is safely inside the ship. Roger that. No problemo. Okay, let's see. Where were the thruster controls again? I thought I told them to wait at the altar. Why did they have to go to the extra risk of using flying magecraft? Well, nothing to be done for it now. Open the deck hatch. As soon as we've collected the field team, we're getting out of this airspace faster than you can say skedaddle.
Hi, yes, sorry, I'm afraid I have an emergency report to make before we get to that. A powerful spirit origin signal is heading towards us from the Donna Palace. It'll reach the ship in 10, 9, 8...
So we're still not out of the woods? What in the world do we have to deal with now? Is it Canis? It's probably Canis, isn't it? We actually managed to make it back. I almost can't believe it.
Right, though it looks like Europa's defensive bounded field is gone now.
Indeed. It was an absolutely perfect spell while it lasted. No question as to why she was the queen of the gods. If not for her delicate magecraft, I'd rather doubt we could have flown this far in safety. What are you just standing around for? Get in the hatch already! There's an unidentified spirit origin heading your way right now. Now be there in 3, 2, 1, ah! Oh fuck, it's her golden form.
Hey there, so you punks really didn't make it out of there alive. Good. Wouldn't be any fun otherwise. But wasting out of tight spots is one of the things you lot do best, right? Knew flying here was the right choice. So, where are the twins in Europa? Aha, so they're dead. Well, hey, that figures. No point in saving their lives now, right? So you went around pulling all the shit you wanted and decided to scram before it got real, huh? I like that. Hell of a lot less cleanup that way. Only problem is, you assholes got no business being the only ones to make it out of this scot-free. Don't you think, Chaldea?
Canis. Canis. As in Canis, the divine spirit, so she managed to survive too. Well, that's just grand. Go ahead and invite her to celebrate this victory with... Hold on, are you sure that's really Canis? That spirit origin pattern doesn't match the one in our records at all. While Canis did have some divinity mixed in previously, now there's divine aura emanating out of that spirit origin's every pore. It's almost like a purely divine spirit. That's precisely it, Gordolf. I don't know how this happened. Canis, as she appears now, is quite clearly a god in her own right. In fact, at this moment, it would be no exaggeration to call her a direct proxy of the sea god himself. Keep the hatch closed for now, Gordolf. There's about to be a battle up here. Huh? But why? Our battle here is... Oh!
Shut up. You should have hung up on mustache a while ago, detective. Perceptive as always, though, I'll give you that. But we don't need a peanut gallery getting in our way during our fight to the death. Canis, there's no reason to fight us anymore. You've already lost your master and any reason you may have had to protect this Lostbelt. And despite all that, you still want to fight us? You done? So, now we know what your... So, now we know what your servant thinks, Yusaku. How about you? Got anything to say?
Only this. You're not going to back down, are you?
Hell no. This is unfinished business. This unfinished business ain't gonna finish itself. You punks brought down freaking Olympus. That's huge. I couldn't ask for more worthy opponents. And hey, I might not be your typical Greek heroic spirit, but it's still what I am. And if there's one thing we all know Greek heroes are about, it's revenge, ain't it? It sounds almost facetious.
It almost sounds facetious hearing that from you, Canis, given how much you despised Olympus. But I can't deny that your will to fight, your drive, and your spirit are more united than ever before. This must be your final destination, the one you failed to reach in your lifetime. It seems you finally arrived at your answer, Canis. Then as such, we are obligated to respond accordingly, even if this battle is entirely unnecessary. Yusaku, I'm aware your magical energy has also long reached its limits, but can you still do this? You know it. Let's go, Canis!
Well, look at you! A goddamn weakling of a master glaring at me like you actually know your shit! Fine, then, let's go! When we're done, all that's left of you and your servants will be dangling from my spear! One last thing, remember my name. I am the one who made Poseidon pay for violating me and took his place as a god in recompense. I am the foolish king who lost himself to the vices of killing, violence, anger, and pride. But right now, all that I do for my contracted master. I am Canis, the divine spirit, and I am the only servant who Kirschtaria Wodan truly trusted.
And we're gonna be the ones to kick your ass. Alright. Let's get this rolling. And of course, to take out lancers, we need sabers. Yes, I know, Mash has to be in the front. Should I use Waver? Either Waver or Tamamo. Excuse me. So I have to use Mash up front, so I'll use Waver. Okay, we're bringing more single target sabers. Should I use Dioscuri? Fuck it, I'll bring Musashi in anyway. Even if her data is lost at the moment. Alright, let's do this. Alrighty. Let's see what you are made of, Canis. Like I said, we took down gods like it was our own day job.
Olympus を制した者よ。その力、その決意、一時のものでないことをこの俺に示せるか。
Yeah, we'll kick your ass.
鮮やかに勝ちに行くぞ。俺のオスが用意。道をやつめ。前に出ます。春の日差し、花の乱舞。開け、ヌプティアエドムスアウレアよ。歌え、アクスカエレスティ。
One break bar down.
我が武勇、武器によらず。つりゃ。つりゃ。つりゃ。
受け取るがよい。
つまり途中だな。他にやることないの？じゃあこういうのどうだ？つまり途中だな。他にやることないの？
とう、さすがだな。示談装填しました。
Ooh, big mistake. I say it's Umu time.
開けヌプティアエドムスアウレアよ。歌えアクスカエレスティ。その愛は行くぞ。
我がカイナに宿れ力我が肉体無敵なりせいせい
Ignore sure hit and reduce attack and damage to 0, so 5 left. Three.
せいこいつで
内熱衝撃板装填します。さすがだな。示弾そう、はい前に出ます。はっ
俺は自由だ。海の大地の俺をつなぎ止めることはできる。ラピュタイカイネース。
悪いライダー。
せいこいつで
Oh, hey, Musashi. Fancy meeting you here.
よーし、そこ狙うからね。内熱衝撃板装填します。五輪の神髄お見せしましょう。おーとも任せて。
憤怒を持って諸悪この我が勝負医者だ大転我が肉体無敵なりつめや
Alright, as I've said, it's Umu time.
道を開け。幸運やつさすがだな。
Let's see how long her guts will last.
春の日差し花の乱舞開けヌプティアエドムスアウレアよ。歌えアクスカエレスティ。その愛
ああ全力で負けちまったか。ちくしょうやるじゃねえか。ああガルデア
やや胸が
Woo!
この通りだ。
When in doubt, bring Nero. And feathers. Yeah. Yeah. Give me a sec, folks.
Damn. So you want to bring every human up to the god's level, huh? That explains a hell of a lot, Kirschtaria. No wonder you're so desperate to get things moving. I don't know what the hell you did to yourself, but it's pretty clear you could drop dead any second. But if this plan of yours works, you'll be set for a nice long life. Typical human thinking.
Ah, my apologies. I clearly didn't explain myself well. My plan is to make every human beside myself into gods. So this revolution won't include me. Even if my plan works flawlessly, I'll still be an ordinary human.
Huh?
Well, you might say it's similar to how a doctor can treat anyone except himself. This revolutionary rain of meteors I'm envisioning requires a central spellcaster to work. One can't turn both the central axle and the world that turns around it at the same time. Really, if I'm being completely honest, my plan isn't entirely foolproof. But when I shared it with Atlas, warts and all, he also reluctantly agreed to it. That being said, I have no intention of dying anytime soon. I plan to keep on living for as long as I'm able. Besides, sorry. If my plan goes well, then it'll be everyone else's turn to shine. And who knows, I may end up living here quite some time yet, since I plan on taking it nice and easy in my retirement.
What the hell? He's gotta be shitting me. He wants to make everyone else into the world ascend to the next plane of existence at the cost of him becoming the only relic of the past? After all the hard work he's putting into making a new world, he's gonna be the only one left behind? No freaking way. I don't believe it. I don't even want to think about it. That's not just cruel, it's goddamn brutal. But he talks about it like it's the most natural thing in the world. He sounded so excited about it, like he couldn't wait for this new, better version of humanity to arrive. Your twisted nature couldn't be more plain, Canis. Both your heart and mine are warped beyond redemption. Even becoming a god has done nothing to fix that. You were never anything more than a recipient of the sea god's love. How can you possibly begin to match us? You never even understood Lord Kirshtaria's vision for bringing about a new age of gods. All you ever did was flail about in anger, curse the gods, and think nothing of but yourself. They were right. That sums up my whole life right there. That's why I can never get behind his goddamn plan. Not really. I never once thought it was a good idea. Shit, the idea of a world where everyone's a god sounds like my own personal hell on earth, and I told him as much. But all that aside, he still lived a life I can't even imagine. He had a dream so huge and stupid that nobody else would even think about trying to make it reality. Seriously, how messed up is it that he got me, of all people, to want to support someone? And not just anyone, a stuck-up world is my oyster type like him. Crap, no wonder these Chaldea dipshits beat me. The second that happened, my fate was sealed. Well, this is pathetic. Can't believe I picked a fight and then went. Can't believe I picked a fight, then.
Goddamn, man, what is up with me?
Well, this is pathetic. Can't believe I picked a fight, then went and lost it.
There we go.
But you know, it's okay. At least I got to go out swinging. This'll tie a nice little bow on my stupid summoning. Now I don't have to worry about you punks or him anymore.
Well, I did kind of summon you.
Alright, assholes, this is where I'm getting off. See you all in hell. Oh, on second thought, guess you won't be going to our hell, huh? Well, see you all in hell. Oh, on second thought, guess you won't be going to our hell, huh, Yusaku? Well, whatever. Point is, I'll be waiting for you on the other side. Make sure you stop by once you're all done with everything here. I'll have a few words of praise for you about how you pulled off a hell of a thing, especially for a human.
Well, I did summon you.
We have confirmed. Canis is gone. This Lostbelt's last remaining threat has now been completely neutralized.
Canis is a really strong servant. Old man, you know we're back online now, right?
We are? Damn it, Spinach! Why didn't you say so sooner? You've got to communicate! Testing. I trust you can all hear me. Once I open the hatch, which I'm about to do in a moment, I want you all to get inside the border, double quick. As soon as we confirm your safe return, we'll be getting out of this airspace immediately. You can make your report to me after you have had a good long rest. However, there is just one thing I'd like to say first. Well done, Yusaku. Well done, MASH. Well done, Administrative Advisor. Now that you have returned, I am officially marking the following mission complete. Order Lostbelt number 5 and its sub-order, those who cross the Sea of Stars. I dare say your performance deserves full marks across the board. I advise you all to look forward to your next bonus. For I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
That's... Come on, MASH. Let's go home. Damn, man. This Lostbelt made me really like Gordolf a lot now.
Right, congratulations on a job well done, Master.
It's not over yet. Okay. Alright, we took Canis down now. Got more Phoenix Feathers. Oh man, we need more Phoenix Feathers for Hana's account here too, because she still has some servants she needs to ascend. There are 3 segments. Alright, let's finish it off. The journey continues.
Guess I can't just keep gazing at the sky forever. Now that it looks like the Tree of Emptiness is gone, it's only a matter of time before Olympus disappears. I suppose I should be glad that this whole frontier area didn't fall apart the moment Zeus died. Alrighty, I'd better get a move on before the ground here starts to collapse. At least I don't have to wonder where to go next. While I do wish I could go be with David in South America, there's something I still have to take care of first. I'm not usually one for revenge.
Revenge?
But I'll make an exception for you, Beryl Gut.
Oh, he's gonna go after Beryl. Screams, shrieks, groans. Despair, misery, fury. This is what should have been heard all across Olympus, the supposed utopia of the gods. I was so looking forward to basking in them, to feeling the joy and sorrow with my entire being as I laughed at the humans collapsing into tears. I was all set to point and laugh, to mock these humans as they succumb to despair. But I never expected to encounter someone who could use the Rojinsu in such a manner. Beautiful carnivore. What? I can feel my entrails waking up from their slumber. It's been a long time since I last made use of my true body. Okay, who is this? I must admit, I'm almost vexed with myself. I never imagined one could break my life extension in that limbo.
I must admit, I'm most vexed with myself. I never imagined one could break my life extension that way. But no, never mind that for now. Yes, right now. I believe a moment of silence for the mechanical gods who flew here from a distant realm is in order.
Ah, man. Let's see. Man, this music's a little ominous, too.
Imagine! To think the end of the gods' pets would come like this. The gods must be proud indeed, knowing they kept these pets around for 10,000 years for this! Ah, what a truly dreadful thought! Academia? Art? Did those so-called legacies amount to anything whatsoever? They gave their pets eternal life, and even limited their value. And in the end, they were done in by rogues they utterly failed to control. A mere two specimens of humanity, larvae, left over from the Olympiamachia who went and betrayed their keepers. And now that Chaldea and company have had their way with them, not a trace remains. What else could one call this but a glorious farce? I come not to bury the gods, but to praise them. Rest assured, this alter ego will never forget these old ones' final moments, nor their death throes. Indeed, now that I've witnessed this beautiful sight, I can scarcely restrain myself any longer. Yes, next time. I, Ashiadoman.
Okay, yeah, that's what his name was.
Shall entertain the god-slaying master in my true domain. The bowels of hell itself.
Sorry. Again, can't laugh too loud. Well, that was ominous. Oh, I think the next segment is in that other Lostbelt. Well, is in that other realm though, where we can get the new outfit for Kintoki. Zero sail systems are all green. Magical reactors are operating in parallel. Hull damage minimal. In that case, there won't be any need for us to do a rush dive. We'll be able to begin a standard one before this Lostbelt disappears. Munier, would you mind giving me a hand? You got it, Captain. No, wait. Forget just giving you a hand. You only just got back on your feet. Should you still be taking it easy? Wait. So you should still be taking it easy for a while. Just sit back and let me handle things for now. Solid as a seashell. Now go take a seat in the co-pilot's chair. Don't forget your seatbelt. Roger that. Solid as a seashell? Dimension-piercing battleship Stormboarder preparing for deployment. Setting return course to the Wandering Sea. All hands, I'll do my best to keep the ship steady, but stay alert just in case.
that I think about it, we've really got our work cut out for us, don't we? Getting through Atlantis and Olympus is only a huge ordeal. Unfortunately, the Atlantic Lostbelt's Tree of Emptiness is technically gone now. But its branches covering the Earth's stratosphere haven't gone anywhere. The foreign god made her descent. And if that wasn't bad enough, she manifested with the spirit origin of Beast 7, one of the evils of humanity. At one point, the foreign god was one step away from wiping out all of Olympus and taking you guys with it. But the massive burst of magical energy fired at her from the palace put a stop to that. That seems to have done some damage to her, from the looks of it. Since she responded by pulling in two of the altered egos, Rasputin and Senji Morimasa, and disappearing. At the moment, not even the border's sensors can determine where they might have gone. Just as well, really, seeing how we wouldn't have a snowball's chance in hell if he tried to attack us now. Anyway, the big problems now are the foreign god's name and what she looks like.
You, Olga Mary.
Yes, I recognize that face from the database. That was definitely Olga Mary Animusphere. But how? She was killed right after the bombing at Chaldea that begun the incineration of humanity. What in the world is going on here? Don't tell me this means Chaldea was behind everything after all. Did I really make a once-in-a-lifetime bet on an organization that's trying to wipe out all of humanity?
We're not sure about that either. Was that really Director Olga Mary?
A fair question. Given both yours and her reactions, it seems safe to say that there are strong similarities. But there are also too many clear differences to say that they are the same person. First, we know that the foreign god manifested in the spitting image of Olga Mary, and that she also claimed the former director's name as her own. Second, her spirit origin was far from human. She is neither heroic spirit nor servant. The foreign god manifested as a beast. Third, she did not know who you were, and she also seemed unfamiliar with the Earth culture and language. Taking all this into account, it would seem that Beast 7 shares many similarities with Beast 1, Goetia, or whoever. Excuse me. Oh, man. Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah. On the way he manifested using King Solomon's body. The foreign god is using Olga Mary Animusphere's body in the same way. The body of the daughter of the Animusphere family, which was formerly among the lords of the clock tower. This is a disaster. A highly talented mage's body being used as a vessel. Then, if I had happened to be there, that means the foreign god would have looked like me. Foe. Yes, the foreign god would have looked like he had too many snacks, foe. Calm down, Goldorf. I do understand the terror of the unknown. But remember, we do know a great deal about what sort of person Olga Mary Animusphere was. While we may not yet know what it is, we can assume there's a reason why the foreign god chose to resemble her. Fortunately, all the Animusphere's data was also brought along to the Chaldea base. So I'll start going over it once we return to the Wandering Sea. I have no doubt we'll find some manner of clue in there that would help us lead us to the truth. Well, I see. You're certainly taking all this in stride, Administrative Advisor. Actually, I just had a thought. According to the report I just received, it looks like one effect of your being struck by Zeus's lightning was a reduction in brain power. So how are you doing now? Are you back to your old self yet, or are you still something of a moron? Foron? Foe, how dare you call him a moron, foe? Not to worry, Gordolf, my brain power has very nearly fully recovered. Though I will say, seeing what it's like to voice and act upon my thoughts immediately has been a most novel and informative experience.
Never mind that now, Holmes. You've been pushing yourself way too hard for way too long. That's right. I know all about how you've been using your noble phantasm this whole time to come up with come up with ways out of all the jams you guys have been kept finding yourselves in. I know we got stuff to talk about, but it can wait until after you've gotten your ass into the recovery pod. That goes for talking to Kadok in the infirmary, too. You can all wait until everyone's recovered.
Wait, did you say Kadok? Wait, we got Kadok?
Kadok? What are you talking about, Da Vinci? What are you talking about? Do you mean Kadok's on the storm border right now?
Whoa, when did they have time to pick up Kadok?
And he's in the infirmary?
Oh right, it completely slipped my mind. We have Kadok in custody right now. It was right before we were about to make our way up to the altar. Don't worry, you have nothing to fear from me. I'm not carrying any NFF services weapons this time. I simply have a delivery for you. This delivery is not from me as a disciple of the foreign god. Rather, it is from Rasputin, or at least what remains of his heroic spirit within me.
Take care of Kadok for me, would you?
That mischievous Grand Duchess was more worried about someone else's future than her own safety. So rather than letting him die, I thought I should at least give him a fighting chance. But do let him know that this was a one-time only occurrence. I won't be lifting a finger to help him again, not even if I should happen to see wild dogs eating him alive.
And just like that, he dropped Kadok right where he stood and left him. He was covered in blood and obviously in critical condition, so he got him to the infirmary right away.
But by the time we got out there to collect him, Rasputin was already long gone. That said, Kadok is still in a coma. We're not sure what will happen next with him. According to Nemo Nurse's diagnosis, we'll need to keep him in the recovery pod for several months. But once he is fully recovered, mark my words, I'll be grilling him for every bit of info he's got.
Well, don't forget, Kadok's not the only one who needs to rest, Gordy. We could all use a good long break.
Yes, very true. Between Atlantis and Olympus, we have completed our largest and most trying operation to date. While we may indeed have our work cut out for us, I think we've more than earned the right to take some time to relax and recover.
You said it. Okay, Yusaku and Mash, I'd like to say a little something too. Congratulations on resolving the 5th Lostbelt. Like we said, we definitely still have our work cut out for us. But you don't have to worry about that yet. Right now, your only job is to get some rest. We can talk turkey over what comes next once Holmes is back to his old self. Alright, that's all from me from now. Great work, you two. You did awesome.
Thank you, Da Vinci.
Senpai, can I talk to you for just a little bit before we go back to our rooms?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, Senpai. I was just wondering something. What do you make of the foreign god? Of you, Olga Mary? I know Holmes thinks she's an imposter who only looks like director Olga Mary, but I can't help but think.
It was totally her.
Right? I don't have anything concrete I can point to. I don't have anything concrete I can point to explain it, but I felt the same way. There's just something about you, Olga Mary, that tells me she's the same Olga Mary we knew.
Yeah, and that makes this an even bigger concern.
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, now we've got to figure out how we're going to save her.
Right. That's exactly right, Master. I know we still have a lot of thinking to do about what we can do and what we should do. But if our goal is to save her rather than defeat her, I'm more than willing to fight.
You know, if we can actually get Olga Mary back, that would be great. Wait, is that Atlantis? Never thought I'd end up back here. Guess even a servant's life is full of surprises. So, what happened to the foreign god? How come she locked herself up in the workshop as soon as we got here? She sure settled down quick for all that heavy breathing she was doing. What's the deal? She's having second thoughts after one of the earthlings treated like fleas managed to cut her. Try to be understanding. She couldn't help but be surprised when something she considered merely part of the scenery decided to attack her. If a pebble laying on the ground jumped up and slashed at you out of nowhere, wouldn't you be shocked too? Suppose so. Hell, I'd lose my shit if the eggplant I was having for breakfast suddenly came at me with a sledgehammer. Guess it's a lot like how some people are scared of bees. So what? This mean Kirshtaria's serious light thing actually... Of course it didn't actually hurt the foreign god. Why, it didn't even come close to breaking her skin. But the fact that there were beings willing to attack her at all has made her stop and rethink her approach. She's currently using this terminal to review human history, even if she doesn't seem very happy about it. You know, in a sense, Kirschtaria saved our lives as well. Thanks to him, the foreign god is now willing to let us stay on as her disciples. Never mind that we've lost contact with Limbo for the moment. Huh? Isn't the foreign god supposed to be all-powerful or some such? Why would she still be needing us for? Or what would she still be needing us for? I'm getting to that. You see, there are two surprising things the foreign god learned from these events. The fact that there are insects on this world willing to attack her, reckless and meaningless as those attempts may be, and that there exists a lance of light capable of burning down the trees, and that there exists a lance of light capable of burning down even the trees of emptiness. She'd like you to go investigate the latter, and destroy it, of course. She says she'll teleport you there as soon as she's ready. That's so. Well, it can't be any worse than here. No telling when this place will up and disappear anyway. So how about you? You gonna stay here as her escort? No. I'll be heading out shortly myself. The foreign god desires a more durable vessel than the one she has now, so she's sending me out to procure one. Procure, yeah, there we go. Ain't she plenty strong as she is? Hell, it's not even possible to make a stronger spirit origin anywhere on Earth, right? So where are you going to find one better than what she has already got? Not to worry. I already have just the place in mind. You see, the machine gods of Atlantis aren't the only foreign beings who made their way to this planet in ages long past. There is a golden sea of trees in the belly of the underworld known as Xibalba that is home to an enormous beast. It slumbers in a world where Alea is stable, and wriggles to life in a world where Gaia shows itself. I speak, of course, of an ultimate one, a being who came here from the Oort Cloud. What? Seriously? That's kind of ominous. And finally, to finish things off. Hey, you up now? Oh, good, you are. There's something you ought to see. I went back and forth on whether to bring this to you, but ultimately I thought you deserved to see it. Sorry to spring this on you when you're still tired, but I didn't think you could wait. So, what is it I ought to see? A video file from the God Destroyer Alliance base. According to the timestamp, it was recorded after you guys took Demeter out. We're not sure exactly when it was sent, but it looks like it was right before you guys left for the Great Orbital Shrine. I don't know how they pulled it off, but the file is in the exact same format we use at Chaldea. Man, Olympian tech never ceases to impress me. Anyway, I already sent the file over to your personal terminal. We already watched it ourselves, but I'm not going to demand you to do the same. Whether you do or not is totally up to you. Though I will say that Gordoff decided to designate the team as MIA after watching it himself. Said something along the lines of, "We can't confirm their deaths, so who's to say they won't come back to us again someday?" Like director, like field team, I guess. But hey, who am I to judge? We could all stand to get a little sentimental now and then. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say for now. Later. Good. The camera's working fine. Testing, testing. Good. No problems with audio either. Okay, I'm all set to record. Now I just gotta make sure no one sees me. It's not that I want to cause any infighting, but every organization needs to perform an internal review sometimes. And while the God Destroyer Alliance might not have many members, it's still an organization. We should know how everyone really feels. I don't like the idea of surreptitiously filming them, but then again, Edison said it was perfectly normal. Anyway, this will only be for reference, nothing more.
Macarios, where are you? I could have sworn he was around here. Maybe he's in a private room? What's up, Adele? Something the matter? I want to ask Macarios to help me with something, but I can't find him anywhere. Gotcha. Maybe I can help instead. I appreciate the offer, but that's okay. You see, I want to ask him to fine-tune your and Mash's clarinomia. Right. Yeah, I probably couldn't be much help with that. Not exactly my area of expertise. Well, I wouldn't say Macarios and I are experts either. Maybe not, but how many years have you guys been fiddling with that stuff? 1,000 or so. Alright, I guess in other worlds, that would make us I guess in other worlds, that would make us experts, huh? You could say that again. I see your point.
There you are, sister. Hey, Musashi.
Oh, good. Listen, Macarios.
You want me to fine-tune their clarinomia, right? I'll take care of it. Gotta make sure there won't be any after effects and such after all. Anyway, on a different subject, can I ask you to do something?
What is it?
Well, I was just wondering what you think of the Chaldeans.
What do you mean? They're our comrades in arms. They've been invaluable to our alliance.
How about you, Musashi?
Good question. Maybe travel companions? No, that's not quite right. I honestly don't know much about Holmes. I barely even talked to any of the other staff either. But I do love Yusaku.
Hey, she loves me.
And Mash too, of course.
Okay, and Mash too.
I just love them both to bits. Oh my. At first, I didn't really know anyone besides Yusaku. And my first impression of Mash was basically she just seemed really earnest. But then once I saw how she fought, I got it. The whole reason Yusaku's able to live the way he does is because he's been with her. He's been with her all this time. Once I figured that out, well, I just fell in love with Mash.
Oh damn, we got some Yuri action going.
Now I can't help but smile whenever I see her and Yusaku doing their best together. That's so touching. I just love that sort of thing.
You think? I don't really get the appeal myself. Anyway, next question. Are there any requests you'd like to make of them? Maybe something you feel like they could be doing better?
Huh? What kind of question is that? You doing some kind of performance review thing?
Of course not. I'm just making conversation. I wasn't asking for any particular reason. Nope.
Oh, really? Okay, if you say so. Anyway, let's see. Something I'd like to request from them, huh? I guess I'd like them to do all the living I won't be able... Huh? On second thought, just forget that one. Here, let me try again.
I think what I'd like to request from them is that they live happy lives.
What kind of answer is that? That's not even a request.
I want them to live as long and happily together as possible, so that they never have to go through any pain or hardships. That's the one and only request I have for them.
Well, that was helpful.
Huh? You really do love those two, don't you? Absolutely. Like I said, I love them to pieces.
Oh, it's gonna make me cry again.
So what about you two? What do you think of Mash and Yusaku?
Us?
You're the only other ones here, aren't you?
Well, we definitely could have beaten Demeter without them. In fact, the Alliance never actually managed to destroy a single god until they came along. So...
I like them personally, and I don't just mean as comrades or Alliance members.
Sister!
If we hadn't met them while we were in the middle of fighting a war, I even think we could have been friends. Well, of course you could. Honestly, I thought you were all already friends, aren't you? I'm not sure. I hope so. Well, I could have sworn you were, so, I've got it. Somebody mark the date, because this gal just had herself a fantastic idea.
Where'd that come from? And what's this idea anyway?
I'm so glad you asked. Like I said, it's fantastic. My idea is, once Operation God Destroyer is well and truly done, we should have a party to celebrate. One with lots of yummy food. You're right. That does sound lovely.
Sure, but it only works if the operation goes off without a hitch. We don't have any casualties, and we have enough time to put something like that together. So I'm not sure if that calls it... So I'm not sure I'd call it fantastic...
It's gonna go great. We're gonna make it go great.
Good point. I mean, the plan is for the operation to work out as intended, so why not?
Then I'll have to start thinking of what to make for the occasion. Now, what would be good for a party? Udon! Definitely udon. For the rest, we'll have to go around asking everyone else what their favorite foods are. Oh, and we'll definitely have to go get Gordolf to make his special omelets. This party's going to be so much fun. Just you wait.
Why don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Ah, God. And so, this would be the end of the Olympus Lostbelt. Oh. Seeing Musashi like that hurts now. It hurts so much. Well, thanks for the grail. Together tomorrow. Huh? Oh shit, it has that little black dot there. Okay, let me get the... Oh my god. It has them all there. Kirschtaria, Macarios, Adele, Canis, and Musashi. Well, Lostbelt number 6 isn't next. Well, then we're also gonna get that other Lostbelt thing. We got that black dot there. And yeah, whew, well, that was the end of Lostbelt 6, well, Lostbelt 5, Olympus. And now that we finally completed the 5th Lostbelt, whew, that was something. So I can't wait for the next one, though, and I'll definitely do another another playthrough of that as well. So until then, well, right now I think what's oh, man, I'm brain farting right now. I think right now what's going on right now is we're having the download campaign with Musashi's banner returning though, and for those of you who are for those of you who want Musashi, I'd suggest you get her now while you still have the chance, because this is the last time Musashi will have a personal rate up outside of GSSRs. So again, like I said, be sure to get her if you want her though. Right now, I think right now the one who's on the banner right now, because right now it's rotating right now. So right now, currently, while this video is being recorded, it's Gilgamesh on rate up though, and then it's gonna swap forth between, I guess, Skahawk, Kintoki, Brunhilde, and I forget who else though. But yeah, in any case though, I want to thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys again next time. All right, take care.